Thank you for dropping by. I'm going to say you've got a hard act to follow now, but no pressure. We'll be absolutely fine. We'll be absolutely fine with that.
I think it's not just a hard act to follow. It's just actually a very complimentary act.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to have come after Haley.
No, it's amazing. So what brings you to the conference today?
So we've launched our program internationally. It's a program, well-being and mental health program for children. And what I realized 6 years ago now is that actually everyone is at risk. Even my most positive child, she was 8 at the time, called Yasmin. She went through a tough time, and she ended up admitting after me coaching her that she hated herself. And that was a pretty big shock for any parent, but particularly for a parenting coach who's supposed to know whether I had written 5 books about parenting. But my light bulb moment was realizing that I had the tools to actually get her to express this and to be able to understand. And then for the next couple of days, she started going around the house going, I'm a fallible human being. I'm a fallible human being. So I managed to explain to her that, it's okay to have bad behavior. And so, but in the majority of households, she would have been punished and she would have just stopped doing it because obviously you don't want to be punished. And then she would have done it out of fear. And the problem is she would have reproduced that feeling that she wasn't good. She wasn't a good child. And I decided, you know what? I've been working with parents it was 6 years already, working with parents. Well, it's so important that we work with kids as well. I was always asked by parents, can you take care of my kids? I was like, stop wanting to outsource your kids. Just you have to do the hard work as well.
Yeah.
But then I realized, actually, children don't have a safe space. It's schools, particularly, but also at home often, to be able to express these things, to be able to get them off their chest before they become a problem. And so that's why I work with leading therapists, lots of teachers, and children themselves to create a program that enables to give the kids actually these tools that they need to express themselves, the emotional literacy to understand their behavior, and then to be able to face any challenge and rewire their brain for positivity, for success, and to thrive.
Amazing. There's a lot to unpack from that, isn't there? There's a lot to unpack. So how do you bring that into the education space? What is it you're doing to obviously help then students, but also help teachers be able to push that to them as well?
Great question. And that because it used to be an hour a week program, and then we'd have the teachers go. But the problem is I don't have an hour a week. The curriculum is so packed, and so we actually ended up transforming this into an opportunity. In that we use the science of habits to just do it 5 to 10 minutes a day. And in 5 to 10 minutes, actually, you achieve much more than an hour a week because then it becomes ingrained in the curriculum. So actually, the children talk about feeling. It becomes part of their day-to-day life to be able to express themselves. And when they're having a challenge, they share it or they help each other out because part of the program is about doing what we call the Feel It Promise. The program is called Feel It. One of the programs is called Feel It. And the promise is actually about how we're going to help each other out when we have difficult feelings. And so you see these kids go, oh, I see you're sad or you're angry. Instead of excluding them, they actually find ways to help them out. And that's beautiful because it creates inclusivity. It creates realization that actually we're all okay. And one of the big transformations of kids is also to realize that other kids have negative thoughts as well. Not just negative feelings, but also, we don't talk about negative feelings. We say uncomfortable, unpleasant feelings, but they also have negative, so that they have negative thoughts like, oh, I'm not the only one. And actually, I can do something about these thoughts. I don't have to just believe them. It's like when, I don't know if you're aware, but you go, hermits that go 20 years in a cave and they come out and you ask them, so what is the one thing that you really learned in 20 years? They say, oh, actually, that I'm not my thoughts.
Yeah.
And so teaching this to kids early on and getting out of these loops, of negative loops, basically, we literally teach them cognitive behavioral therapy, which is so we brought like kind of decades of personal development, summarize it for kids, made it engaging. And so through video programs, activities, and also journals, mindfulness journals and gratitude journals. And so it's great because Haley actually was talking about this in her talk. And it's very much about how do you bring that to kids in an engaging way.
Yeah, my wife laughs at me because I've taken this on board and she'll hear me talking. She's like, who are you talking to? And I go, Steve. She goes, who's Steve? And she goes, it's my inner voice. And she's like,
great.
Why? And she goes, because I am not my thoughts. And it's very much the same. If you can name that and you go, just talking to Steve, it's like me and Steve aren't the same person. And it's that. And I say it to my kids all the time. And I say it to the kids in my class and they think, you're crazy. It's like, but it's true. And then I say to them, why does the voice in your head have the same accent as you? And that really blows their minds. They're like,
yes.
You can see them sitting there going, And it's like, are you thinking to yourself, is that your voice? Is that your inner voice? And then they're just like, just
that's great.
blowing
Love it.
students' minds.
Love it. And actually, to be honest, the thing is, what's really important as well is that they're not in opposition to this voice, but they integrate it. So it's still, it's a different part of them, but actually it's the latest research on psychology shows that it's about integrating these different parts of us and accepting them. And that allows to like let go of this big battle that we sometimes have, but definitely not just agree and accept.
Exactly, exactly. And I brought this is what I sneaked off for. I was given a pack of these, and I was showing these. These look amazing. Like, and I've seen my kids. I have two young daughters at home, 10 and 8, and they come in and talk about my eldest especially talking about her feelings. She's like, I'm blue today. I'm red.
She's red. Okay, great.
And they've started to integrate it in. And I was like, right, okay. Now, what do I need to do? Because me and my wife have this conversation, and it's like, do you get mad at adults? Do you ever get mad at adults? And she's like, no. And she goes, what happens when you come home? It's like, do you get mad at your children? She's like, yes. And you can see it's because it's like, there's my safe space. I'm putting it now all onto my kids. And actually, I don't fully understand then the consequences of that. And obviously, everything you're talking about and all these things that I think would not just be great for classrooms, is like parents need to get their hands on these as well. Because, and what I like from this, ages 4 to 99 years old is what it says on the back. I love it. I absolutely love it. Because you're right, it's for everyone. And like we said earlier, it takes a village. If I'm not in tune with this, if I don't know what's going on, how am I supposed to be a real model to those students if I'm not comfortable with my own feelings? So something like this and how they are, I think is fantastic.
Thank you. And it's actually for the teachers as well. And so the teachers are actually learning from the program as much as the kids. And that's why a lot of people put these, our feel it mappers, which are similar to the mood meter that you're talking about with the blue and red feelings and the yellow and green feelings. They also put in staff rooms because the staff start speaking this language of feelings and actually feel much better. And that prevents burnout. So it creates more compassion and empathy everywhere. What's really fascinating about the cards as well is, so I created them because when I would go to my therapist, he would say, well, how are you feeling? And I would go, oh, I think I'm feeling. And I would justify why I'm supposed to feel this way because I didn't really have access to that language of feelings. And so using the cards uses different part of the brain. So actually it enables us to really connect more with the feelings and then be able to self-express ourselves.
Yeah, I get this a lot because your wife comes in the door and I'm like, how's your day been? How are you doing today? How are you feeling? Yeah, I think I'm all right. It's like, hang on a minute, and we see it we do it all the time, don't we? And it's like, you think, and it's like, no, how do you feel? And then it's like, yeah, I think I'm good. It's like, right, okay. And you can see them with that language, that crossover. So everything like this, I think, is fantastic. If for people out there interested in this and want to learn more about it, where is a good place to find you?
So our website, happyconfident.com. So it's called the Happy Confident Company. I'm a chief happiness officer, best job in the world. and it's happyconfident.com. And so it's schools, but it's also parents. As you said, it's so important that parents can also access this. So we've got a 10-week program, First Children in families. And we also use that program in schools so that actually they all understand and all speak the same language.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I've also got to give a nice little nod to the heart that you've got on your glasses there. I think that's amazing.
That's my kids. Valentine's.
I had one on my laptop and it's like I've peeled off after 2 years. It's peeled off and being thrown around. But no, amazing. Well, Nadim, thank you ever so much for your time.
It's amazing to speak to you.